Okay, so this is Suno. This is the main page where if you go to suno.com, this is the home page here. Now I have a pro plan account, which is $10 a month. Now this is new. There's actually a student pro plan now, which is literally the same as the pro plan, and it gives you the same options. But anyway, the basic plan gives you 50 credits every day, which is 10 songs a day. I get 2,500 credits, which allows me 500 songs a month, which the reason why I went to this is because I write a lot of songs, and 10 songs a day was not enough, or 10 generations of songs just wasn't enough for me. And there are just other options that it gives me, and including the newest model, early accesses to beta features, and just the generation queue just goes faster. Okay, so if I go to create, there are a couple different ways you can create a song. The first, I think it shows up when you go to create, it looks like this, where you can literally just type in a prompt. I think back when I first discovered this, I think I just fooled around and tried one for a friend and just put in a song about my friend who owns a store called 519 Clothing, and in German techno or something like that, and it made a pretty cheesy song. I think it was only on version 3 at the time, which only generated 2 minutes. I have the newest, which is 4 minutes and has the best vocal quality. But yeah, so this obviously wouldn't be the way to go for the assignment, because it just generates the song for you, and I find it creates a pretty cheesy sounding song. Since the lyrics aren't as great. You can also just hit instrumental, so if you put in a description, it'll give you a song with no vocals. If you go to custom, pretty much custom instrumental version, there's not many difference, other than you can add a persona, which is like taking a style from a song you've created and adding your own title to it. You can also use exclude styles. So here you can add types of styles, and it doesn't have to be a genre, but it all could be like add emotion, or add make it melancholic, or have it as male vocals, or if it's genres like EDM, or it gives you options down here, so you could do even ones that like I don't know what that is, pipa, folk, tronica, like it gives you different things that you could add or add yourself. And then if you turn off instrumental, this is where it gives you the space to enter your own lyrics. It shows you how much characters you can write. 3,000 is quite a bit. Like I'm able to do a pretty long song, or type in quite a, I guess lots of words into it, and I have never reached the 3,000 mark. You can write with Suno, which is pretty much it generates lyrics for you, and then you can edit it that way, but I don't use it. I only add in my own lyrics. Here again, this is where you can add the style of music. This is where you can exclude style. So let's say you wanted something, if you wanted, let's say, I don't know, here, blues, but you don't want it to have jazz or jazz guitar or jazz drums or something, I don't know, something like specific thing that you don't want, or you want pop music, it to be pop style, but you don't want it to have male vocals, or a certain drum style or something like that. I usually don't use the exclude styles because it makes it a little bit more, I like to kind of get just different ideas based off what it gives me, and then enter the title. So what I'm just gonna do is use lyrics that I've have done in the past. So yeah, these are fine. Okay, so I have ones that I created called Roll the Dice, and it's about D&D, because I do play D&D, and it's perfectly fitting for this because it's fantasy. So here, this is the prompts that I added. Electronic, dubstep, glitch, medieval, fantasy, bass drop, epic. I could even like make it add like an instrument that I want, like harp or guitar or something like that. Roll the dice. Maybe this new version I'll just call the D&D or something like that. And then I won't add a persona, and then pretty much in the text box is where you can add, like if you wanted an intro to the song, an instrumental intro, and then that's where I could say, okay, I want like a bardic whimsical instrument of like the lute or something like that. And then you kind of divide what is a verse as to a pre-chorus, and maybe add in prompts like slow down or speed up. Then you could add the chorus, and it will recognize what is chorus, what is verse. So it'll give you, every time there's the chorus, it'll give you the same type of style or layout each time. And then here I have, this prompt never worked. Like that's not the sound of rolling dice, and never really worked for me. Sometimes it does make sound effects, but I think I might have put the prompt in. You have to put it in a specific way, but I can take that out. It does give you a beat drop, though, if you put in that prompt, and if you want an EDM style. Sometimes you have to add that into this as well, just to make sure. And then the second verse, another pre-chorus, second chorus, the bridge, which is cool, because you can even, if you add in key change, or you can change it to a different, from major to minor key if you wanted to, but it kind of sometimes does it without you putting that in, because sometimes the bridge hasn't actually a key change in a song, but it's cool because it will give you a cool bridge, and it knows if it's a bridge or not. And then chorus, so this is just like a basic song structure. Usually it's what I follow. Obviously it could be different if it's a different style of music, like rap or hip hop often follows a different structure of lyrics. And then when you hit create, so each creation is 5 credits. So obviously that's why I went up to the pro plan, because I have more credits. And as you can see, this song, I've done it a couple different times just to get different variations and to pick one that I liked. So I'll just hit create. And what it does when you do hit create, it does give you 2 options every time you hit create with the same prompt, but it will be slightly variations. So obviously I think these 2 were generated at the same time. And then this one I generated, actually this is my favorite out of them all, but I just kind of changed the style of music to a little bit different. But anyway, it'll give you, it takes a little bit of time. You can play it now, but sometimes I like to wait until it shows the length of the song here, because then it doesn't buffer or anything when you're trying to listen to it. As that I'm waiting for that, some of the other things you can do with the pro version is, if you hit on the 3 dots here, you can create, you can extend the song. So let's say if you have older version of the software, so let's say if you use version 3, which only gives you max 2 minutes, you can hit extend, and you would probably want to use the same lyrics or add in the lyrics again, but you can tell it to like extend from a certain point so that it will continue the song off. Sometimes I do this actually if let's say I like the first verse that it gives me, but then I don't like how the chorus sounds, so I literally just re-put it into the, like I'll listen to it and see where the verse or the chorus ends, and then I'll put it in, like, let's say the verse ends at 40 seconds. The first verse ends at 40 seconds, and kind of that's where the chorus starts. So then from there, I would literally take away the part that's already been sung and then start off like again and see what it gives me for the following song. And then there'll be an option if you clicked with the new versions or the extended versions on the 3 dots in create, it'll give you an option that says get whole song, so it blends the 2 sections together. So that's one thing you can do. With that, you can change the style of music when you're extending it, but obviously it's better just to keep how it was. And let's say you're working on another song and you're going back to this song. The easiest thing to do is if you go under create, you can reuse prompt, and it just takes the lyrics and the style of music and just puts it back into this, so you don't have to like try to copy and paste or try to remember the lyrics that you put. Another thing that's coming out that are in beta, if you do have the pro version, is you can cover a song. So if there's lyrics that you like, you can hit cover. So let's say the D&D song, I hit cover, and then I could change the style of music. So if I wanted to do metal or a rock and roll version and change just like the genre almost. Persona is almost like you're making kind of like a cover, but you take the style of the song you created, and then in other songs that you create, you can use that persona as kind of the basis style of the song. So like you can make it sound similar to other songs that you created. Get stem. So this is where I could actually split. It will split the song into instrument, vocals, and I think drums or percussion. So this actually allows you to take out the vocals if you wanted to, and then you could put it into a different software like GarageBand and mute the vocals, and then you could sing it yourself. So that's how I would be able to download the song or the different stems and then kind of subtract the vocals from the songs. Remaster, I won't really get into that, but because that's really just version 4, and then that's nothing important. And then you can also edit the song. So song details just takes you to the title, the image that you want it, and then just editing the lyrics, just what would display. Crop song is if you wanted to crop certain areas of the song. And then replace section is actually a newer part as well. Don't worry about that, but pretty much if there's just a certain section of the song that you don't like, or the AI messes up, like it says a word weird, because sometimes it does that, sometimes it pronounces words weird, you could literally highlight the section that you want it to redo. I think you have to have at least 10 seconds, of song, and pretty much it'll show what's been highlighted over here and then have the text here. And then you can either, if it's a sentence that you want to change, maybe it's like grammar or just the rhythmic structure of the sentence, you can change it here. Or if it's just the way it says it, you could just leave it how it is and then recreate this section, and it'll give you a couple versions of that recreated section. And then once you hit replace or like good to go, it will add that section, that new section, to the song, like replace it. Okay, so exit out of that. So these are 2 different versions. I don't know if I can be able to hear it. Now these are my original.
Gather round the table, friends, D20 in hand, our journey transcends. Maps and figurines set the stage. Are we ready to turn this epic page? Let the dungeon master take control, bringing stories to light, raising fantasy to life. The choice is yours, the path is in your hands,
So that's
into
kind of
realms
idea of the first one that gives you, and then the second one.
Gather around the table, friends,
obviously this one
D20
gives
in
you the
hand,
female
our
voice.
journey transcends. Maps and figurines set the stage. Are we ready to turn this epic page? Let the dungeon master take control, bringing stories to light, raising fantasy to life. The choice.
So that one actually give you female and male vocals, and I think you can, to avoid that, if you don't want two people, you can add in style music if you prefer. Like if I wanted just male vocals, I would just put male vocals somewhere in here. Sometimes I find the more prompts in here you put, the better, especially with the 4th version. Oh, because it still thinks I'm extending. But sometimes I also think having less is also better. Like depends on kind of the style you want. But it's kind of nice to just see what different styles are. And then, so yeah, so it'll give you, those are the 2 versions that it created. As you can see, I have a couple other songs here in this one, but if I go back briefly, I mean, I have lots of songs. Now they have workspaces, so I'm able to organize it a bit better. But if I go to library and go to my deleted songs, all the ones I didn't like, I can like go through all the ones, and you can see how one song, I have many versions of it. Just if I've changed the style differently, if I didn't like a certain part, let's say maybe the AI pronounced something weird, or if I wanted to change the grammar or the wording of a certain line, maybe one line's too long, or the rhythmic aspect of it didn't work, or the rhyming of each line. Like it allows me, like I'll just try it again, or like edit the lyrics and then export it, but it allows me to hear what each song, what it would sound like, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, so that's Suno. That's kind of the basic idea of Suno.